feel being immortalized on Sunday?
It's kind of crazy. You know, when Woody surprised us back in the spring, I don't think it really hit home as much. And then we did the Green Jackets at the kickoff luncheon, and that's when kind of hit home. Like, whoo, this is something big. And so it's been a process since the kickoff luncheon to now of really coming to grips with what it means and what it means for the family, for legacy and whatnot. And, you know, it's really special and something that I'm pretty excited about.
What do you think your emotions will be like Sunday then?
I don't know. I'm trying to figure that out. They have me speaking for a little bit. And so I wrote that out. And writing that out was fun. Kind of just, you know, they gave me 2 minutes. I think I used 1:45. And so there's emotion in it. I didn't go all Peyton Manning and make it hilarious because I felt like it's probably not the spot. But, you know, there's a lot of people that need to be mentioned that I wanted to get done. And so that was a little tricky weaving those in and out. But just the lead up. I mean, all the planning that we've been doing, the amount of people I have coming in to support me is fantastic. And so, you know, it's going to be, I think when it's going to be nerve-wracking, I think, up till halftime. And then after halftime, really and quite enjoy ourselves.
How many people do you have coming?
I think we have, for the game alone, we are somewhere in the 120 range, I think, just personal invites. But there's been many people who have reached out and said, hey, we're coming in for the game. So it's, you know, it's really humbling, you know, when you have that many people who will take time out of their schedule. It's a Sunday, you know, not a lot of people from Ohio and different areas, so that, you know, they're going to have to travel on Monday, so taking a day off work to come out, so very humbling.
How cool is it to be going in the same year as your old offensive line partner?
I think it's fantastic. You know, we came in together, and so we're finishing together, and I think that's something very special. You don't see that too often. And so Brick and I met him at the Senior Bowl in 2006, and then, you know, we've been together ever since. And so it's definitely something special for me and hopefully him as well.
Are there going to be some former teammates that you maybe haven't seen in a while that'll be there?
Yeah, I hope so. I mean, we've reached out to, I think, all the guys that I could remember, you know, after 11 years and a lot of different teams. It's a lot of people. So hopefully we get some out. I know Alan Faneca is going to be there. That was a personal invite before the team could even get to him, just because, you know, how much he meant for my football career, but then also career off the field.
When you think about your Jets career, just kind of what stands out in your mind?
I think it's the guys that I was with. You know, people always ask, you know, do you miss it? And honestly, I don't miss the physical game of football. I like waking up feeling good in the morning. Like it's been kind of nice. But I do miss the locker room. You know, I miss hanging out. And you know, when you have 20 minutes in between meetings and, you know, lifting or whatever, and you know, you're just kind of you know, just chatting about whatever comes up in the day. Like that's something that's, you know, you can't replicate that anywhere else. And so I think that's a big thing, you know, the guys in the locker room. And then, you know, the ups and downs. You know, even we had some great highs. Even though we didn't finish it the way we wanted to, it was still a lot of fun in those runs. And even in the lows, you know, there was always something to be taken away that it was enjoyable. And so it's I enjoyed my 11 years here and wouldn't trade it for the world.
I know you keep an eye on your Ohio State guys. They had one on Sunday who played pretty well for the Jets. Did you follow him through his whole college career, and what did you think of his first couple of games?
So I'm terrible at following college football. Apparently Saturdays are when they put all the kids' activities. So between soccer and football and cheerleading and field hockey, and I haven't been able to keep up with the college game. So I wasn't able to, you know, I see it from afar, but, you know, nothing really. But I loved what he did in the game on Sunday. I thought he had a fantastic opportunity, and I love when Ohio State guys do well. They're good people, those Ohio State people.
What do you think the atmosphere will be like Sunday?
I'm hoping it's rocking. Coming off the crazy win that we had from the Browns, 1-1, coming in back home. I know Sunday, it was, or not Sunday, but on 9/11, that crowd was fantastic. We did some of the tailgating stuff content-wise, and we were out in the parking lots, and fans were super excited for that game, and we're really up. So I'm hoping, fingers crossed, the weather still looks pretty good. We'll get people out and really have that great home field crowd that we like around here.
Were you watching the game week 2, and if so, how did you react as it things went down at the end? So
it's funny. I was in Long Island, so I watched the first half. And then shocking turn events takes like 2.5 hours to get home from Long Island back to Jersey. So I ended up missing the fourth quarter. And my little guy, who's 6, who's just a straight wild child, calls me. And he said, "Daddy, the Jets won." And I was like, I wasn't keeping up. And I was like, "Oh, really?" I thought it was tied. And then he goes, "No, they scored a touchdown. They won." And so then my wife gets on the phone. She's like, "Oh, he was watching intently the whole fourth quarter. He loved it." And kind of gave me the rundown of how everything, and then, seeing the highlights and whatnot. So it was kind of a neat way to find out, that my wild child actually sat on the couch and told my wife that he was just relaxing, watching football. That's all right, buddy. We're making progress.
Have you had much of a chance to interact with Robert Saleh? What do you think about him as the Jets coach?
Yeah, I've been able to see him a decent amount. Our kids kind of coincide, so our kids have a little sports together, which is pretty neat. But I like Robert and what he's doing, his message, the way that he goes about it. I think in today's day and age, everyone wants the snap your fingers and everything's fixed. But I feel like the way that he is going, along with Joe Douglas, and the direction that the build, the way that they're trying to build this thing as a culture and as a team long term, and not just all right, we were able to do it for a year, now we've got to start all back over. I think has me excited as a now solidly Jets fan. Since all my kids as well are stuck in it too, so they are in it, and it's funny growing up, actually being a Bengals fan, being in Ohio. And now, fully being a Jets fan and seeing them play the Bengals, like it's just kind of a weird notion. Like they kind of come together, especially for this game.
You believe Brady's still playing, Nick? I mean, probably like 15 years ago, we could have been in this room asking you about facing Brady.
Yeah, I know. No, it's crazy. It's shocking. I joke that he got a taste of the retired life, where it's like you don't have an end in sight. Like you always have off season, you get to spend time with the kids and everything, but you're going back and you have spring workouts and mini camps and stuff. But once there was no end in sight, like, well, this is what we're doing. Never mind, come back for another one. I fully understand that. I don't know if that's how it went down, but it gets a good chuckle for me.
Say a few more. They asked you about Robert Saleh and Joe Douglas. They've obviously built an offensive line, which I assume gets your stamp of approval here. That seems to have been the focus. Do you have much of a relationship with any of these linemen? Are you there if they want to reach out and anything like that?
Oh yeah, definitely. We live right down the street, so I'm here. And it's trying to, dealing with everything with COVID. I think was very tricky. Trying to connect with people because, God forbid somebody gets test positive or something like that. So it's now kind of rebuilding that again. I was very fortunate to be over in London to announce the draft pick for Max Mitchell, which thank God they picked Max Mitchell, a very easy name. I was sitting at the top of the Shard in London and wondering like who we're going to pick and is it going to be a name I can pronounce. Had me shaking in my boots because they only gave me like 30 seconds. She was like, as soon as I write it down, you're pretty much going to have to do it. So I'm hovering, watching her write each letter. It was like, oh my God, thank God. But being an offensive lineman, apparently he's got a taste for gumbo. He makes his own gumbo, so I'm pretty excited about that. We're going to dive into that, I think, this offseason. So, there's still a connection as much as I'm available. I got nowhere to go. So.
Everybody good?
Yeah.
Thank you, everyone.
Perfect. Thank you.
Thanks.
Congrats.